Later, we had 546 million. So all is not exactly like it looks in this business, and I am very hopeful that today will turn out to provide a lot more tax relief than people realize. Thank you.
Well, I can't thank Senator Linehan enough, and can't thank all the senators. We spent countless times throughout the summer, and everybody that welcomed me to be able to talk about plans and about ideas, because everyone here knows we have an extraordinary crisis. We have a property tax crisis, and all of us are working hard for the Nebraskans who don't have lobbyists, who don't have special interests standing up and talking for them. It's really, really important that I have tremendous appreciation for everybody's hard work to try to come together. I think that there's a couple things that I think are important for all of us. I think as Nebraskans, we're extraordinarily independent. And I think us being independent is a really, really great gift, but sometimes it's our Achilles heel. We go through tornadoes, we go through blizzards. We don't ask for help. We just roll up our sleeves and figure out how to do it ourselves. I think what's really important is that we start having attitudinally a little difference where we start thinking more about working together. It's really, really important, and we work together so that going forward, we really can have transformative change. To echo what Senator Linehan, this is a big deal. Making sure that 45% of the Nebraskans that can't afford to hire an accountant, can't afford to do this or that they are getting a 20% property tax cut. They are getting a 20% property tax cut because of the work the people behind me got accomplished. I'm really, really proud of that. That's incredibly important. The other that nobody's talking about is we have no idea how many people are not coming to Nebraska because they go on the website and see what our property tax. Now, at least, that will show a 20% decrease because the statement will decrease. That will be a step in the right direction. And then most importantly, this group of people have had the courage to finally say no. It's no. It's time to say no to property tax increases. This hard cap allows for folks to get uptight with valuations not to matter because they're not going to go up. Whatever the valuation goes up, that's not the problem. The problem's been spending, and this body has fixed that. So I'm really, really pleased about that. In terms of how much do we celebrate? I'm not sure we should be getting our hands going across our back and slapping our backs too much. The people in Nebraska will be the judges. The people that have lost the hope to build their home, we'll see how that affects for them. The folks that countless times come up to me and tell me we have to leave because we can't afford our home that we paid for. Farmers and ranchers that are just telling me everywhere I go that we have to get this crisis fixed. We can't compete with where we're at. So time will tell on how Nebraskans judge, and I think that the other is for our outgoing senators, your 8 years. I hope you feel great about what took place here. Incredibly grateful for all your hard work because this is another key step. But let's be crystal clear, we're just getting started. We have a lot of work to do, for the future, and I think that it's really simple. We all understand that to grow Nebraska, we have to have property tax income way down. And, it's a simple one. Math is really simple. If all of the exemptions sales tax exemptions hadn't taken place in the last 50 some plus years, in 2023, we'd have had $7 billion. That's 7 with a B, Senator Clemens, 7 with a B, $7 billion of revenue from sales tax. And if you do the math, that means our property tax would have been $600,000. That's the kind of tax reform, and that's how you grow the state of Nebraska. There's nobody here that wants to see the state shrink. We have to keep plugging away, and I have full confidence none of us will give up. With this party's just getting started. With that, I'd like to turn over to Senator Breezy. Treasurer Breezy, extraordinary longtime champion. Treasurer Breezy was with me in Boone County last week or whenever, a couple nights ago, and he can attest to the constant conversations about the property tax crisis that we hear everywhere we go. So Treasurer Breezy, thank you for being here. Thanks for all your work.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words, Governor, and thank you everyone for being here. It really is a good day for Nebraska property taxpayers. LB34 represents a nice win for Nebraskans, front-loading the dollars, putting caps on the locals, the 3% revenue growth that Senator Linehan referenced there. And I really want to thank Governor Pillen and Senator Linehan for their relentless efforts on behalf of Nebraska property taxpayers. Thank you. But I also want to thank my former colleagues for all you have done on behalf of Nebraska property taxpayers. All of you, or some of you, were parts of LB2, 1107, 873, 583, 243, and now LB34. And those are big wins. You add those together, that's a huge win on behalf of Nebraskans. And I want to thank you guys for that. That's very important, and Nebraska is going to remember you for that. Thank you. But there clearly is more work to be done, and it won't be easy. And LB1 this year is Exhibit A. We had LB1 that came out of our working group almost unanimously. It would have solved the property tax crisis in Nebraska. Unfortunately, lobbyists, special interests got in the way. But going forward, folks need to decide. The lobbyists and special interests need to decide if they're serious about property tax relief or they just want to talk about it. And I know Governor Pillen is serious about it. And so with his leadership, I know we're going to get a lot more done going forward. And again, I want to thank my former colleagues. I want to thank Governor Pillen, Chairwoman Linehan for your efforts. And we will be back with additional proposals next year. I know that. Thank you.
And with that, we'd be happy to take questions. Martha?
Governor, can you reflect on what went wrong with this session? You started out with a pretty significant plan, and it came down to LB34, which is comparatively small.
Yeah, I think that I think the stunning development from my seat is really, really simple. The power of people deciding to go separate ways and not working together. What special interests and associations did for their interests instead of the interests of Nebraskans, put lots and lots of pressure on certain people. I mean, this game is not rocket science. It's 33-17. It only takes a couple to get cracked. So the stunning power of the lobbying groups, we will become stronger together. We will fully recognize what a crisis we have and how we have to follow what economists say. We have to change property tax being the highest in the state and get that fixed, because our state is in dire jeopardy of losing the ability to grow, and that can't happen. That can't happen on any of our watches. So I think that we're all learning. We're all figuring out how this works, and we've got a lot of work ahead of us. We'll keep learning. We'll watch a lot of game film, and we'll come back stronger next year. Yeah, John.
Governor, at a Face the Chamber event in Lincoln earlier this year, you said that one, we were going to get to 40% property tax bills cut. If we didn't, that you were going to call a special session every day between then and Christmas. Are you going to call another special session? And if not, why not? What's changed then?
Yeah, well, I think that I understand the math and I understand the power of who's drawn the lines in the sand. That's crystal clear. You know, I think that to be able to call another session on property tax right now, before the end of the year, before Christmas, would be a mistake, and I don't plan on doing that. Yes, sir.
Are you optimistic that with a new group of state senators in next year, that you will have a better chance of pushing your plan?
Well, I think that what's really, really important is that we have to get more Nebraska stakeholders involved in this process, not associations, not representatives, but Nebraska stakeholders that love this place, like all the people behind us. We have to get more Nebraska stakeholders involved in this process, so there's no wiggle room, there's no misleading and with innuendos and all the silly things that go on out in that rotunda. Yeah, you know, we've had a heck of a lot of rain in Nebraska. I did not think we could get a swamp inside the rotunda, but we did. We got to get it cleaned out. Yes, sir.
Governor, you called the power of the lobby a stunning development. You said the math just isn't there for another special session. I think it was kind of clear before this special session that you didn't have the votes for your plan. Because what has changed now that, I mean, it was clear in early July that your plan didn't count the votes.
With all due respect, Andrew, I would totally disagree with what was clear in your eyes. You know, when you're out talking to Nebraskans nonstop, and when you're out seeing the pain and agony that Nebraskans are going, yeah, no, it wasn't clear then. It wasn't clear at all. I had great hope that that we would win out over the lobbying and special interest groups, and I still haven't given up on that, just not now. Andrew?
Governor, we have one more year of 1107, filing that through the income tax credit, correct? What would you tell those people that claim that credit already, that might not see as much of an increase?
You know, what I tell everybody is I'm governor of all Nebraskans. Nebraskans care about policy that's fair and treats everybody the same. And so, yeah, for the folks that have already been claiming it, yeah, we've fallen short. But there's 45% of Nebraskans in Lincoln. Lincoln alone, 51% did not claim. Omaha Public School District, 63% did not claim. I think all those Nebraskans, I think every Nebraskan's proud that those folks don't have to go hire attorney or hire lawyers or accountants or whatever to be able to get it. And again, remember when those statements come out and they're 20% less across the board, that's going to help us in the right step for workforce development, because again, we have no idea how many people just turn the lights out when they think about Nebraska because of what our property tax is, what it shows up on the website. Yes, sir.
You went through basically the entire state of Nebraska doing town halls about this issue. When you go back to those folks, what will you say? I mean, some of those who are very reasonably maybe disappointed, where you were promising 50%
Sure.
cut in the bills, it's not going to be that. So what would you say to them about that, about their disappointment with how this went?
Oh, what I'll say to every Nebraskan, as I say today, we're not giving up. We're not stopping. We're not satisfied. We've got to win. We've made progress, but we're sure as heck not satisfied. We're going to not give up, and we're going to make sure we're going to keep pounding away so the state quits quitting on kids. We're going to make sure that we fix this property tax crisis so that property tax income's the lowest in our state. It has to be. And we've just got a lot more work to do, and and we'll get that done. Not going to give up.
Fred, I'm going to let you ask the last question, and then we're going to move to the bill signing ceremony.
Okay. Fred, go ahead.
Do you have any regrets about the process you used to come up with the LB11 proposal? There were critics who said not enough people were involved. It was secret.
Yeah. Yeah, Fred, I think that, when through this process, I mean, any other bill, there was way more senators than involved in this whole process than any other bill. Could have we done more? I don't know how we could have worked any harder. We did the best we could. Wish we could have had more people involved. I understand the criticism. It's Monday morning quarterback, and that'll, you take it and you learn from it and keep moving on. One thing nobody can criticize, we didn't work hard. We worked our tails off, our whole team did, and so many people behind us worked really, really hard for Nebraskans. We're not going to give up. Our effort is just beginning. Martha?
When you come back with, and continue working on this, are you going to continue working on the same structure of doing away with sales tax exemptions, taking over school property taxes? I mean, are you going to look at some of the alternatives that were introduced this session?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think to tell you the exact definitive plan, although, where Treasurer Breezy and I were at just a few nights ago, people go, this plan is so simple. It's unbelievable. How do we not get that? How does that not get passed in the unicameral? There's going to be tweaks. We need to make sure that we have everybody on the team. We take everybody's input. We made progress, but we've got to make greater progress in the future. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So, all right, thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. I can't thank all of our partners in unicameral for all your work and your perseverance and not giving up. I'm incredibly grateful. I know it wasn't fun. I know we'd all rather been someplace else, but I appreciate everybody working hard to do the people's work. Really grateful. So let me say thank you. We've got a couple signings here. One would be for LB34 and 34A. Sarah Lenahan, come on up.
You're the one who's going to sign the checks.
So this makes LB34 and 34A.
Whose bills are those?
You gotta get something for it.
There you go.
This is LB2.
Oh, Rob.
Thanks a billion, Senator. And this is Legislative Bill 3. As a token of our appreciation, Treasurer Breezy, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, this concludes it. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of the summer.
How many days till football?